Hi, my name's Tanera Rice, and I'm doing this video for Sociology 101. The documentary that I decided to do for the project My Life versus a Documentary is Waiting for Superman. What initially drew me to this documentary was that it has Superman in the title, which is my favorite superhero so far. So, this documentary is about children and teachers in the school system and the school system in general in America. America's school system very is lacking in general with the whole school system in all of the world. It's not as good as China or Germany or Finland, which Finland is actually like one of the top academic education in the world. So this documentary follows a couple of kids and teachers throughout their time in the school district. And a couple of the characters that I decided to follow, their names are Daisy and Anthony. Daisy is a 9 or 10-year-old. She is Hispanic or Latina. She has a mom and a dad. Her mom is employed for full time, and her dad is unemployed because of layoffs. He is searching for a job, but he hasn't found one yet, so the mom is the sole provider for the family at this point. Daisy is wanting to be a veterinary doctor or veterinary surgeon when she grows up, and has already sent a letter to the college that she wants to attend when she's older. She is in a public school system at the time of this documentary and is on track to a dropout factory in the public school system where she lives, and she lives in Los Angeles. She has a chance to go to this charter school called KIPP LA, which is in Los Angeles. And the way that she gets into this is by a lottery drawing. Anthony, on the other hand, is a sixth grader, so 12 years old, 11, 12 years old. He is black, and he lives with his grandma in Harlem. No, just kidding. He lives in D.C. So him and his grandma live there together. He was being raised by his father, but his father overdosed from drugs and is living with his grandma now. He is a good student. He likes math. He's good at math, and he um, has a chance to go to a boarding school called Seed, and he gets put into a lottery for that one as well. This uh, oh, and his mother has never been in the picture. This documentary kind of follows a couple of these kids around and a couple of educators around, and it tells like why this school system is failing and what they can do to better it like that. There's this woman in the story named Michelle Reese who becomes the like superintendent of the school board in DC, and she's trying to fix the problem with the teachers because apparently a lot of the teachers in this school district aren't teaching right. A lot of these teachers have tenure, which basically makes them invincible to being fired. They can stay at that school for however long they want to, and that's because they've been teaching there for a while, so they've already been granted tenure. Tenure is like a steady work job, like stability, which gives the teacher a chance to work there as long as they want to, which is good for good teachers, but a lot of these teachers aren't good. So, what Michelle Reese proposes is that they can stay with tenure and get a moderate raise, or they can leave tenure and get paid a six-figure income. Except the only catch is when they leave tenure, then they are liable to be fired. And because of the teachers union finds this threatening to them, and so they decide that they're not even going to vote on the issue at all, which puts Michelle's plan back. Michelle is trying to increase the scores and increase the academic education level of these schools, because she realizes that there are so many kids who aren't getting the education that they need. A lot of the reasons that these kids are in these public schools instead of these private schools is because of their social class. These kids don't have the funds, or their parents don't have the funds to put them into a good education system. And so what they do is they get put in applications to be drawn in a lottery, which is really anybody's guess. There's no it's all luck, random. Nobody is in because of good grades or good academics or anything like that. Whether it doesn't matter if they're white or black or Hispanic or Asian, it has to do simply with the luck of the draw. And there's another of these educators. His name is George Canada. Sorry, my eyelashes are clumping. This educator made this charter school called KIPP, which is the one that Daisy is applying for. His original charter school was in Harlem, and the one that she's applying for is in LA. So the one in Harlem has all these. The KIPP charter school has extended hours, and they even teach on Saturdays, and they teach during the summer as well. And the difference between this charter school and a regular school is that these instructors and these educators at this school are directly involved in these kids' lives and don't ever let them have the chance to fail in any of these classes, which was one of the main problems is the kids going from a public school to a charter school is that they were already so far behind in their academics, there was no way that they could catch up to everybody else. So Canada decides that he's going to get these kids to have good academics from the beginning, from the get-go, so that they don't fall behind. Everybody is on the same page. And so these kids, Daisy doesn't get into the lottery for KIPP LA, but Anthony actually gets put on a waiting list, but because of people backing out and stuff, he gets moved up to the top of the list, and he actually gets to attend Seed, which is a boarding school. So, and KIPP LA and Seed and a bunch of these other charter schools and private schools I've mentioned in this documentary have kids, 90% of their kids graduate high school, and 90% of them are on track for a 4-year university. So, so a little bit about me. Um, oh, just kidding. A couple of the problems with the main characters were their social standings. These parents of these kids can't afford to send their children to a high end school or anything like that, so they have to bank on the luck of the draw of the lotteries. And because so many other kids are trying to get into these institutions, they don't get in usually. So now a little bit about me. I am a white female. I'm 21 years old. I'm Christian, been raised Christian. Um, I would say my social class as of this moment is middle class. My social class for my family has always been wildly ranging. When we were children, me and my brother, I have two siblings. I have three siblings. I have two brothers and a sister. When we were younger, me and my siblings had a nanny, so that was like the height of our social standing. We had a nanny who took care of us, and my mom homeschooled us. Then we moved to Cottonwood, and I attended 3 different schools in one school year. The first school was Paramount Academy in Phoenix. It was a charter school. The next one was a Montessori school in Camp Verde. And that school for me was just really difficult because the teachers kind of just said, all right, go over to this table and these kids will help you understand what we're doing and what we're working on. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm good because I can teach myself, but this was just so difficult for me and I didn't get a lot of attention from the teacher and nothing was really explained to me. It was kind of just throw her in and let her struggle. Then I went to Oak Creek, which is in Cornville, and that was a public school that I went to. That was the first public school I've ever gone to. And when I was promoted from this school, by the way, the school was great. All the teachers were super great. They paid attention to you, and they were directly involved in your lives and wanting you to excel. And after I was done with this public school, I was on track to go to Mingus Union High School in Cottonwood, which I never really wanted to go to, except that all my friends were going there, and so that was the only thing that really made me want to go there. But I actually got the chance to go to a charter school, American Heritage, which is where I graduated from in 2014. And that was probably the best thing for me because the teachers there were very like goal oriented, and they were small classroom sizes, and they really focused on you, and you had the same teachers throughout the whole 4 years that you were there. So you really got to know these teachers, and they got involved in your lives, which was really awesome. And so that was just fantastic, and we graduated from there and went on to college. And so my family structure, so my parents were married up until I was 13 years old, and then they got divorced, and then just got remarried again last August. So me and my siblings went a period of time where we didn't have a mom in the picture, and when she was in the picture, it wasn't good. She was hardly ever there, and she abused drugs, and um, it wasn't pretty. So, and that was when we were in like the poverty level. We were definitely like below poverty line. Like we were on welfare and food stamps and every other like government funded thing that you could think of. And we never had a house to call our home with our mom. It was moving from place to place all the time. And my dad, as hard as he tried, he couldn't provide for all of us, so I always had to pay for my own things. Anything that I ever wanted, I had to pay for myself, which was good for me because it taught me responsibility at a young age, and I've always been really responsible. But that was my family structure. But then we moved. We've gone from Phoenix to Cottonwood,